Hello, and welcome back to Morning Bible. Today we will be reading Matthew chapter 10 in the New English translation. So let's dive on in. Matthew chapter 10. Jesus called his 12 disciples and gave them authority over unclean spirits so that they could cast them out and heal every kind of disease and sickness. Now these are the names of the 12 apostles. First Simon, called Peter, and Andrew his brother. James, son of Zebedee, and John his brother, Philip and Bartholomew, Thomas and Matthew the tax collector, James the son of Alphaeus, and Thaddeus, Simon the zealot, and Judas Iscariot, who betrayed him. Jesus sent out these 12, instructing them as follows: Do not go to Gentile regions, and do not enter any Samaritan town. Go instead to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. As you go, preach this message: The kingdom of heaven is near. Heal the sick, raise the dead, cleanse lepers, cast out demons. Freely you received, freely give. Do not take gold, silver, or copper in your belts, no bag for the journey, or an extra tunic, or sandals, or staff. For the worker deserves his provisions. Whenever you enter a town or village, find out who is worthy there and stay with them until you leave. As you enter the house, give it greetings. And if the house is worthy, let your peace come on it. But if it is not worthy, let your peace return to you. And if anyone will not welcome you or listen to your message, shake the dust off your feet as you leave that house or that town. I tell you the truth, it will be more bearable for the region of Sodom and Gomorrah on the day of judgment than for that town. I am sending you out like sheep surrounded by wolves, so be wise as serpents and innocent as doves. Beware of people, because they will hand you over to councils and flog you in their synagogues. And you will be brought before governors and kings because of me, as a witness to them and the Gentiles. Whenever they hand you over for a trial, do not worry about how to speak or what to say, for what you should say will be given to you at that time. For it is not you speaking, but the Spirit of your Father speaking through you. Brother will hand over brother to death, and a father his child. Children will rise against parents and have them put to death. And you will be hated by everyone because of my name. But the one who endures to the end will be saved. Whenever they persecute you in one place, flee to another. I tell you the truth, you will not finish going through all the towns of Israel before the Son of Man comes. A disciple is not greater than his teacher, nor a slave greater than his master. It is enough for the disciple to become like his teacher, and the slave like his master. If they have called the head of the house Beelzebul, how much more will they defame the members of his household? Do not be afraid of them, for nothing is hidden that will not be revealed, and nothing is secret that will not be made known. What I say to you in the dark, tell in the light, and what is whispered in your ear, proclaim from the housetops. Do not be afraid of those who kill the body but cannot kill the soul. Instead, fear the one who is able to destroy both soul and body in hell. Aren't 2 sparrows sold for a penny? Yet not one of them falls to the ground apart from your Father's will. Even all the hairs on your head are numbered. So do not be afraid, you are more valuable than many sparrows. Whoever then acknowledges me before people, I will acknowledge before my Father in heaven. But whoever denies me before people, I will deny him also before my Father in heaven. Do not think that I have come to bring peace to the earth. I have not come to bring peace but a sword. For I have come to set a man against his father, a daughter against her mother, and a daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. And a man's enemies will be the members of his household. Whoever loves father or mother more than me is not worthy of me, and whoever loves son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me. And whoever does not take up his cross and follow me is not worthy of me. Whoever finds his life will lose it, and whoever loses his life because of me will find it. Whoever receives you receives me, and whoever receives me receives the one who sent me. Whoever receives a prophet in the name of a prophet will receive a prophet's reward. Whoever receives a righteous person in the name of a righteous person will receive a righteous person's reward. And whoever gives only a cup of cold water to one of these little ones in the name of a disciple, I tell you the truth, he will never lose his reward. That was Matthew chapter 10 in the New English Translation. I don't know how long this discussion section is going to be, but we're going to be looking at verse 28. And I think this is a slam dunk for annihilationism. I don't know if you really need any more proof other than this verse. Well, obviously you do, but this is a very good foundation for it. And as far as I know, not really refutable. So, verse 28, it says, "Do not be afraid of those who kill the body but cannot kill the soul. Instead, fear the one who is able to destroy both the soul and body in hell." Let's look at this. So I have this app that I just found, I think it was like a few days ago, maybe a week. It's called Parallel Plus, and it has the function of it is that you can have a whole bunch of different Bible translations side by side and separated verse by verse, and it all scrolls together. One of my problems with trying to do that, even in a Logos, and I absolutely love Logos, I can probably look it up, but I still don't know how to make different translations scroll together. I think some things in Logos should be a lot more intuitive. But anyway, so verse 28. And in the King James, I do not recommend anyone actually read the King James, especially if you read a different translation. Do not go to the King James or do not transition to the King James. But I know a lot of people use it. So the King James says, "And fear not them which kill the body, but are not able to kill the soul, but rather fear him who is able to destroy both soul and body in hell." The LSB, the Legacy Standard, says, "And do not fear those who kill the body, but are unable to kill the soul, but rather fear him who is able to destroy both soul and body in hell." The ESV says, "And do not fear those who kill the body but cannot kill the soul, rather fear him who can destroy both soul and body in hell." There's two ways that this is irrefutable, I would argue. One is the end part of the verse, or what people would call the B section. "Instead, fear the one who is able to destroy both soul and body in hell." And in Logos, when I look at the word info for the word study, the word is apolisai. I don't know how to pronounce that. And it means to destroy or perish. So that Greek word specifically, it's pretty irrefutable what it is talking about. And it's talking about your soul not being there anymore. But I know some people argue, well, if you look at what destroy means now, it could just mean to make it look like it wasn't before. It's like irreparably different. I've heard that argument. I think it is not a good argument. I don't think it's getting to the actual argument, especially if you look at what the Greek means. But 28a is taking it to another level, I think. "Do not be afraid of those who kill the body but cannot kill the soul." Why would you say that if the soul could not be killed? It's just pointing out the obvious, right? You don't need to say that if your soul is an everlasting entity. And if you look at the Greek word, apoktani, I don't know how to pronounce Greek, but it literally only means to kill. So you have to wrestle with that if you're going to argue against annihilationism. If you believe in ECT, eternal conscious torment, you have to wrestle with, well, not only Matthew 10:28, but John 3:16. "For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that he whosoever believes in him shall not perish, but have everlasting life." Shall not perish. So if you have everlasting life, so if you believe in Jesus, you will not perish and have everlasting life. Or you do not believe in Jesus, you will perish and not have everlasting life. That's how that works. That's how that sentence structure works. There's no way around that. So it's very, very interesting. And I think probably every time a verse that talks about annihilationism gets brought up, I will probably mention it. Maybe not this in depth or spending this much time on it, but I think it would be an interesting exercise even just the New Testament, to see how often annihilationism is brought up, or verses that sort of point to annihilationism are brought up. In the Old Testament, it's everywhere. It's in the Psalms. I think it's in Proverbs. Like, there's a lot of annihilationism in the Old Testament. But I think for the New Testament, maybe I'll just mention, hey, this verse talks about annihilationism, explain why in a minute or two, and then go on to something else. But for today, this is going to be all that I'm discussing. And that was Matthew chapter 10 in the New English Translation. Next, we'll be looking at Matthew chapter 11, and I will see you then.